Dissector, you are an idiot.
Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
I'm off as a smug cock when you said that.
Wow, fiscal philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Dissector, you are an idiot.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's crazy. We've been doing this for pretty much 61 episodes, 61 Saturdays at Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern. It's wild stuff now. I feel like we're kind of getting that, the Joe Rogan number, like 4,800 whatever. Now it's crazy.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
we will.
But it's Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern. You could be doing a plethora of activities. You could be doing a plethora of choices. I think you could say a general niche of choices, just stuff you overall want to avoid in your lifestyle at Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern. Fiscal, what are some of the things you could be doing at Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern that are detrimental, and you're not on the cash flow kings, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, you could be drinking some of the bubbly, a little bit of the bubbly. Yeah, right?
Bearish.
Yes, very bearish. You could be smoking weed vapes.
Ooh, that's like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's like drinking smoothies through a straw. It's something you don't want to do.
It's bearish for your life, but bullish for high tide.
Oh my God, dude. I'm like, I love small caps now, dude. I think that's...
You got that small cap raise now, huh?
Nah, dude. We need to get, like, once the CFK portfolio gets rolling and rumbling, which if you go channel member, that will happen sooner. We definitely need to, like, have a certain percentage of the stocks in small caps.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But yeah, I mean, you could be clapping cheeks, twerking out on the side of the street for pennies on the dollar, holding up a sign, panhandling, will twerk for dollars.
You could be making homeless people do push-ups for $1, just not good stuff. Or
you could be doing what I was doing last night.
Uh-oh. I don't want to know. Channel members only. You could be very close on the brink potentially of failing a couple of classes with only 10 days left in the semester, pretty much. Not bullish. Let's just say that.
That's not
bullish.
You, is it?
We can get into that later. Let's just say Ryan doesn't agree with English that much. No, but by the way, I am doing a high tide. I'm writing my final paper on high tide basically for my management class. I finished it. So that's going to be available to Blake and channel members. Shout out to Blake. He did help me a lot with it because I had to kind of ask him on some inflection points of, like, basically the point of the assignment was to find 2 points in history where they had to adapt. So I did, thanks to Blake once again. I did, when they had to adapt to the discount model, they went to, like, the Costco business model. And I also did in 2022, I believe, what did I do? Now I have to pull up the paper. I did 2 things, and I can't stop now because I'm already in it. When Canada legalized in 2018. My bad.
Oh yeah, big deal.
Those are the two choices. But yeah, stocks are doing, like, suspiciously good. Like, even your stocks are doing good. And that's how you know, like, it's getting out of control.
Well, I
got rid of Intel.
I hate to say it, but I thought it was gonna drop like a rock in the days following Gelsinger leaving, and it did. And so I feel like I was right to finally. What? Oh yeah, I called it. We're 16 out of 16 on our trades.
Oh yeah, only $4 a month, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think without that out of the way, we have a guest today that I've been actually looking to get on for a while, and I reached out yesterday and I'm like, are you available today? And happened to work out. He's a man that has many followers on Twitter, not as much as Dividend Dude. Obviously, nobody will ever be on the level of Dividend Dude. We're not that good. It is none other than InvestmentKage. Welcome in, buddy.
No, it's KAGE. It means strategy.
KAGE? Oh no.
all good.
You can leave now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's all good. Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, we hear you. All good.
All right, cool. I don't use my computer very much. I use my phone and iPad mostly. So.
That's what you got to do for Twitter. That's the meta.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I've never posted an actual post on the computer on Twitter. It's always been on my phone.
Wow.
Or
I'm a boomer. I almost exclusively use my computer.
oh, okay. Yeah, no. Like some people are like, "Oh, do you use your computer to tweet?" I'm like, no. I couldn't read very well most of my life, so a lot of times I get these really bad headaches, and so I'll have my phone read it to me. Computer's not as good at that because I have to like highlight things individually, and it just like I have to click through a bunch of things. On my phone, I'm just like read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and then I follow along. So
I feel like I get more done at the computer. Like I get like it's hard to get me here, but once I get here, it's I start pulling out some scummy Twitter methods on growing our page. Which, by the way, Twitter has done like an absolute morality. They didn't get rid of the bots. They got rid of our morality because it's depressing losing like half of our followers now. I don't know about you, KAGE, but we lost a lot recently because apparently all of our fans were bots. So not bullish.
There was I didn't see it, but I also like clear my followers like not every day, but like every few days. Like if I get a boost of like 20 or 30 people, I'll go through it. I'm just like, oh, that's not a real person. That's not a real person. And I'll just like block them.
So you take that upon yourself to purge the bots then?
Yeah, because like I'm just like I used to be like super serious about it. Like I'd go through all like every single one, but after I had like a few thousand, I was like, I can't do this. This is a waste of time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just dumb. But now if I see like 15 people follow me, I go through. I'm like, oh look, 3 of these things aren't real. I was like, these aren't real people. Or like you can just tell that like they have like 3 posts and it just all retweets. I'm like, oh, that's a bot.
Yeah. The funniest is like, I'm sure you get it, but like the message requests. I'll pull it up.
Oh my gosh,
wild, bro!
Hilarious. Because like I'm learning Japanese now. I get the Japanese bots too.
Oh.
And so like, and I was like really excited the first one I got, and I was like, oh, I can read some of this message. And then I was like, wait a second, this is a bot.
They want you to join their Bitcoin Telegram. What's up with this?
Yeah, this could be legal or illegal, but why not? We get some good ones. It's like, how are you? Are you there? This is hilarious. My name is Elise. I'm a 30-year-old young lady. And you? It's amazing. Hi there. What's going on? Hey, how's it going? I saw your post about Google. Got any recommendation on that?
Yeah. If they really want our attention, they know they need to go younger than 30, by the way.
Like this person has 0 followers and it says Mina, which is like everyone. I was like, oh, this is a bot. And it's like Hajimemashite, kono. And then I was like, I can't read the rest of the message. And then I was like, dude, this is such a bot. And it's like, oh, line. Oh yeah. That's like the Japan spam thing. I was like, I should stop replying to people in Japanese. Because I get bots in too. Oh, sometimes I get them in Korean too now.
Oh, interesting.
Which I'm like, I don't know Korean at all.
They're like, while you're in the region.
And they're like, oh, you're on that hemisphere, so you should know it, right?
Right.
Like,
so thing. Obviously you're into anime.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Yeah, you can see my background. Oh,
yeah.
Right there.
And also like I'm assuming that the thing with Kage is a Naruto thing because that's what they call it. Yeah.
No, my whole idea of the name was like, hey, sometimes Kage mess up really bad.
They do.
But you try your best, and people are like, oh, you call yourself InvestmentKage or InvestmentKage. I'm like, you're not a weeb. You don't know what Kage is, man.
Yeah, but he did his best.
But yeah, no, I just thought it was fun, and I used to try to make like an anime analysis and like characters, and I was like, this is not the right page for that. And then I was like, no one cares about like investing and not at that level. But yeah, and then eventually I was just like, I'm just gonna talk about investing. I like investing more to talk about more at least.
If you don't give them 5 stocks to buy right now, and they have to have a high ROC. What are some of the other profitable stocks with a margin over 30%?
High gross margin, high ROIC.
When I was first on, this isn't as much anymore. There'd be like low PE stocks.
Oh yeah, that's
like in 2021. I don't
It's
see that
outdated.
very much anymore because people
It's
are like, "Oh,
outdated.
PE's stupid now."
Yeah.
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 Legendary saying the P isn't 3, then it ain't for me. Blake has a good question. Is that bookshelf of anime or manga in the background? Or manga?
So some of them are light novels, some are manga. And my other bookshelf, like my sister just bought me all of Tsubasa in Japanese, which is my favorite series. Because I have it in English, and so I'm trying to learn how to read it. And it's kind of nice because I have the English translation, so I know what's going on. I can read a chapter, and I don't have to constantly Google things.
Does it ever throw you off reading right to left?
No, because I'm used to reading a lot of manga anyways. So, yeah, it doesn't really. And a lot of weird thing too is like sometimes like they'll read like left to right, like normal like English writing, and then sometimes they'll just change and be like, oh, it's up and down now. Like in the manga, like it's like, wait, what? Why? Most of the time it's up and down, but occasionally they'll just make it left to right, and you're just like, wait, what? And this is not very often. But if you read online, it's all left to right. Most like a lot of novels are like that too. If it's kind of weird, I don't know. But yeah, no. Or if you watch a lot of like videos on YouTube or just in general, you'll see the same thing. Like it'll be left to right for 5 minutes, then all of a sudden it'll just switch up and down. Yeah.
So, do you invest in any Japanese stocks?
No, I used to, but the 10Ks were kind of there's a lot, and a lot of translations weren't very good, and there's a lot of like I wouldn't probably invest in like the Japanese like country as a whole for like the stocks like the Nike whatever
Their
it
index
is.
or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever their index it's the Nike something. Is it 225?
Is it Nikkei index?
Or Nikkei. It might be Nikkei.
Yeah.
It's probably Nikkei. That's how you would pronounce it. It wouldn't be pronounced Nike. They don't have that sounds. But yeah. So I did Sony for a little bit, and I traded them a lot. That was when I was first investing.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, Seymour brought something up. Bring that.
Nintendo.
Yeah. So actually,
that's
that's one. I have that in my YouTube portfolio. Every once in a while, I let my subscribers choose a stock for me to buy, and they had me in Nintendo. It's done pretty well from
Nintendo's done pretty well. I've traded Nintendo a few times. Like I traded it when they had like Switch issues and they went down. That was like
basically temporarily down. You expect they'll recover because it's Nintendo, right?
And that was when I was really into like swing trading and I was trying to get into day trading. I did okay with it. It was just a lot of a lot of work.
It's a lot of management,
And I was like, I don't care to. And I didn't have a lot of money.
If micromanaging your portfolio every single day isn't what you're into, like the swing trading can be a little bit rough.
And I also didn't have a lot of money to do it, so I'd be doing like $1,000 trade, and I'd be making $1,050 over like a 2-week period. And I was like, woohoo! I made $50, which was a lot at the time. It was great, but
5%, like 5% in 2 weeks is great annualized.
Yeah, but also it's just like I was kind of only doing it with a small amount. Like I would never increase the amount I was trading. And occasionally I didn't do so well, but overall, I think it was 2021. Oh no, it was 2022. It was during the bear market. I made $5,000 day trading and swing trading and stuff. But it was a lot of work.
You can make $50 at the blackjack tables these days, which brings me into a point. Seymour Duck, he tried out his new profile picture there. So he tried out some of the Evolution gaming, like the live online casino, and he played blackjack, and like one of his first hands he got like 11 versus a 2.
He was sending me blackjack stuff on X in my
we need to do a live gambling stream with our channel member money.
We'd have to go on like Kick or something for that, or
we'd get YouTube would exile us.
We would be forever in the no monetization zone if we did that.
You can't gamble on YouTube at all like that?
YouTube is really weird. Like they might not outright say that it's not allowed, but like it would be considered probably not advertiser friendly.
Yeah.
And it basically sends you to the pits of hell in the algorithm.
That's strange. I have a friend who actually I can't remember his name. Is it Andre? I don't remember his Twitter handle. But he does like scratch offs and stuff, and What else? He talks about his like blackjack, like he actually plays live, and he made like 40 grand last year just with like gambling with his YouTube channel, and he was like, "This is life-changing money. Like, I got him out of debt and did a bunch of stuff, and like he loses money on his scratch tickets, but he makes more money because of the ad revenue, because of people watching."
Oh, wow.
So like, kind of cool. And like he also does like he's a professional gambler too. Like, but he lost like 13. I don't know what they're called, like 13 games in a row or something like that. And then they're like $250 pay-ins. And he's like, yeah, this kind of sucks. And then his last one for 14, he made like 13 grand. He's like, yeah, sometimes you have a big losing streak, but sometimes you have a really big payout too.
Hey, most gamblers quit before they win big. That's
Although
Fiscal, I'm getting some good ideas.
Worst Finance Take says that, yeah.
I love Worst Finance Takes. Like I knew him before he
Greatest Twitter
rebranded.
page potentially.
Yeah. What do you think about the people who think that him and Guy are the same person?
There's no way. There's no way people think they're the same.
No, I don't buy that either.
Dude, Finance Guy had a generational tweet today. The guy that
I've had him blocked for a long time. We had some beef, I guess. It's not really. Yeah, it was about yield max, and he didn't understand a lot of things. It's like, dude, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I sent him a very long message, and then I tried to be the bigger person. It was like, oh, let's just like put water under the bridge or whatever. And then I just couldn't take him having really bad takes all the time, or like not factual things. It's like, dude, it takes 2 seconds to look that up, and then he wouldn't admit that he was wrong.
Oh, it's clearly for engagement at this point.
He never admits he's wrong, ever.
Yeah,
never.
And it's just like, I don't. Oh, and then occasionally, like, he will be like, oh, I was wrong about this, and then a week later, he'd be like, oh, I didn't say that. It's like, whatever.
He's gone full on political too, which is like, ugh.
Oh, he did? Well, I'm glad
everybody is.
Yeah.
No, so he posted today. This might be the best one of the year, Fiscal.
Okay.
So the post was about how Daniel Penny, who's the guy that choked out the homeless dude in the subway, the context doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
He says Daniel Penny is a free man and an American hero. Justice has been served. He called him an American hero. It's that, like he didn't. He's not like Abe Lincoln. He choked out a homeless dude. You know that's
he didn't storm the beach in Normandy.
Honestly, there's so much drama around his name that it's like it's better just to avoid it at this point. Because like I'm not gonna say who, but a guy with a really big following, over 200,000 followers, like DM'd me. He's like, oh yeah, like I unfollowed him and blocked him because there's just you don't want to be associated with that name.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Okay. But yeah, there's not very many people 200,000 followers on X and Finance, so you can probably figure out who it is.
Yeah, I think I have a clue. I'll put it in the private chat. Yeah, me and Fiscal have both had our unique interactions with them. I'm in high school and Fiscal is like morbidly obese, so
I can't do a push-up or a pull-up.
Yeah,
he offered me money per like $1 per push-up, $5 per pull-up, and I have yet to get paid. Well, he did delete it though.
Okay,
he did delete it.
Yeah. It took me like 2 months to get my first pull-up. Like, and I was doing it. There's this like website called 50pullups.com, and I was like in 7th grade. And my dad's like, you should be able to do a pull-up, and I couldn't. And then like they had me do like dissensions, and I remember like putting my neck on the bar because like I couldn't even hold myself for like a second. And like, gotta hold yourself as long as you can. I'm like, all right, Dad.
That's rough.
I still get trauma from
after 2 months. I got it, and then I got really into fitness.
Yeah, no, like what Guy doesn't know is that like I own one of those belts with a chain, so you can like attach plates to it and to do like weighted pull-ups. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I haven't done them in years, but I'm an old man, by the way. But yeah, I used to do like 20, 25 in a row, like pull-ups with a 45-pound plate.
Back in my prime.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh, I can't do one single pull-up. I'm weak and helpless. You're right, Guy. You're so strong.
Little does he know that motivated Fiscal to up his test takeage by over 1,200 milligrams. So that's
I'm on a gram now. I'm on a gram of beer now because of Guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't clip that.
What stocks are you into, KAGE? Give me some of your top picks right now.
I can actually pull up my whole spreadsheet. How do I do that again?
You don't put it behind a paywall, right? It's not $10 a month
No,
for a
it's
Google
like
spreadsheet.
I do like my portfolio update. I guess I could have just gone on Twitter, but I added a couple things. Not really. I don't know if I can share that actually. It's in one of my. If you go to my page, it's pretty accurate.
I'm looking
It's really
for it.
close.
What's
You go to my highlights.
What's your biggest holding though?
Voo.
I like that.
Your biggest individual stock.
Probably they're all pretty close with like Apple and Microsoft and Costco. I bought them a long time ago. I don't have as very many individual stocks anymore. I haven't bought anything. I bought Celsius recently just because I could drink them. I have some health issues. I have gout. And I couldn't. It's pretty good, controllable now, but I couldn't do a lot of things, so I can't eat a lot of things. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. So like, biggest individual holding by percentage, Costco would be my biggest, and my cost basis was $543.82.
Oh.
So you've done well on that.
Yeah, and like I bought that stock like. So I listened to Joseph Carlson a lot when I was like trying to first started investing. Like when he was really small. Like I've been listening to him since like one of his first video, like his third or fourth video.
Before he was always right.
Yeah, and like he kind of like I liked it because he had the same strategy as me. Like he was a true like dividend growth investor. And then as time went on, like I kind of changed my view. And like he would always be like, "Oh yeah, if you don't have the time, just buy index funds." And like I always bought index funds, and then I started doing other things with my life, and I was like, yeah. But his videos really helped me kind of realize what I was doing, if that makes sense, because we had like kind of the same path. Like I used to have 50 individual holdings or something absurd when I only had like 20,000 invested, which made no sense. So I'm having fractional shares of like Amazon and like what was another fractional share? I can probably find it because I posted it on Twitter at one point or X.
The over diversification arc that every good investor hit.
I have my cost bases every single month since I started investing, and then I have like my average of my Roth IRA and taxable account at the end of the month. It's very in depth. And the reason I started making the spreadsheet is because like I had a second cousin, I call her my niece. And I was like, maybe she wants to get into investing one day. I should show her like how to build a portfolio. And then I just started sharing it on X. Like I wasn't going to be like, oh, I need to share this for this platform. I was like, I'm just going to share it because why not? Maybe it'll help somebody else. And then now people really like them. So I just do it every 2 weeks. Or it's bi-monthly, so about every 2 weeks.
You monetized on Twitter yet?
I am monetized on Twitter.
Okay, I'm curious to hear your perspective because we've had multiple people on the channel that.
It really depends. So there is I get invited to them. I don't join them. Full disclaimer, I'm not part of them. But I get invited to these like growth groups and like engagement groups all the time.
Oh no.
And people literally game the system. It's pretty messed up. So you're paid by the verified user. And so if you can get in a chat of 100 verified users and you all reply to each other and comment on each other, that's how you see these pages with like 5,000 followers get $1,000 a month. Because they literally have groups of hundreds of different people and they're just replying to each. And if you read their replies in their sections, you totally see it. And they're gaming, and they're only replying to X plus users, and they won't reply to anybody who's non-blue. Like if you're not blue, like and you can totally tell. And you're like, oh my God, they're totally gaming the system. Some of them are pretty genuine. Like once you have like 200,000 followers or something like that, some of them don't make a lot of money either. Like, but yeah, no, there's ways to game the system. I don't try to game it. I mean, I made 46.17 the last pay period, which is pretty cool. But there was times before, like I actually have it written out. Like in March, I made $100 in a 2-week period. And then July, I made $96. But I was making around every 2 weeks, 50 to like almost $100. and then it dropped when they put the verified users only,
Oh,
and to not be like ads. And I was like, people are gaming the system.
yeah.
And I only realized that when I get invited to 3 or 4 every day.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people try to promote those groups and stuff, and I always just like, I feel the same way you do. I'd rather like ideally just be myself, and
Mhm.
if people like it and want to follow me, and like I end up getting somewhere with it, great. But just like literally trying to like just grind out for like a few $100, it doesn't seem worth it.
No, and well, some of them, since they've gamed the system so well, like, and then you get a lot of these monetization pages, and they're like, "Oh, how did they make so much?" I'm like, because all the people on the monetization pages have Premium Plus, because they're all trying to figure out how to make money, and so there's a bunch of these monetization pages purposely make multiple different accounts. Like I know of one that has 3 different, because I have a friend who does this, and I don't hate on it. I'm not gonna say his name or anything because I think that's rude.
Members only.
He was just telling me about it, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I have 3 accounts." He's like, "I make 1,500 on this one, I make 500 on this one, I made it," and he posts slightly different things, and so you'd never know it's the same person. Never
It's
know.
a plot to it. Dividend Dude is secretly finance guy. That's the members only content.
Now, finance guy, like Dividend Dude was like later. I remember he followed me when he had less than 100 followers, and I gave him like because I have a free growth guide in my Twitter thing and my Linktree or whatever.
Yeah.
And this was before the Linktree, and he's like, "Oh, how do you grow?" And I was like, "Well, if you really want to grow, you need to make threads every day. If you make pretty good threads every day, you're gonna grow on the platform." And he started doing that, and he's blown up. But he pretty much followed the book like step by step. And like I remember asking me when he had like 5,000 followers. He's like, "Oh, what do I need to do?" I was like, "I used to do it." After about 2 months, I was like, "This is stupid. I don't like this anymore." But that was before Twitter was monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely a double-edged sword.
Do you want to put up Blake's request here?
Yeah, this is fun, and we'll do it because it's Blake, and Blake said he's not a channel member, but he provides more than what money can buy. He provides value and wisdom. He's like the Yoda of the cannabis small caps. Okay, so have you heard of High Tide stock by any chance?
No, I don't do as much individual stocks. Try to explain High Tide. I mean, I've read all of Costco's 10K since I've literally read every single Costco 10K because I went like super into the company. I was curious how it grew.
So I think the comparison here is High Tide they're a cannabis retailer. They're Canadian.
I stay away from cannabis.
Well, they're Canadian.
No.
So usually cannabis companies, the financials are trash, and that's the reason you avoid them, I'm assuming. Not for like a moral reason, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if you smoke. You can, as long as you're not hurting anyone.
I don't, by the way.
I work at a liquor store on the weekends.
But
we prefer cocaine here in the cash flow.
But no, High Tide, they have very, very solid free cash flow. They trade at only like 13 or 14 times the free cash flow at present. I got in when they were only trading at like 7 or 8 times, so I'm doing quite well.
They're up 112%.
We're doing quite well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ryan's in too. But basically they started doing something like Costco. They have like a discount club that you can join.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to be in the club to go into the stores and buy stuff, and they're smaller footprint because obviously they only sell one type of product, so they don't need to be huge stores.
Mm-hmm.
But they have 2 tiers on their discount club too. They have a free tier, and then they have a paid tier. And the free tier, they use it essentially as a way to like collect the data of their customers who are all, cannabis buyers, and then they help basically other companies in the space by selling like useful data about like customer trends and things
if they don't buy them out.
Yeah, if they don't, the ones that survive, because obviously it's a very dog eat dog industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, they they definitely they have a lot of very valuable data on like the cannabis customer base, basically, that is useful to the whole industry, and they kind of have capitalized on that. So they make good. I mean, that's high margin too, right? Because that's just passively collected information that they basically get from anybody that's got like a discount card with them. And their paid tier has been growing like bananas, and it's called Elite. It grows at what, like 50% a year or something crazy like that. You'll have to fact check me there, but
yeah, I know it's growing quite a bit. Why are they doing so much share dilution though?
So
acquisition.
Recent quarters, I don't think they have as much.
I was looking at year over year, like for example, in 2020 they had like 16 billion or whatever, million, whatever this is, million.
Yeah, no.
And then went up to 71 million.
203% growth, by the way, year over year.
Yeah. So the dilution is down into like the mid single digits at this point. And I think a lot of I want to say a lot of it's stock-based comp, but I'd have to double check. I think right now the only dilution they have is stock-based comp. I don't think they're actually issuing shares on the market.
That's basically what Costco does too. They do a little bit of share dilution because of their employees, and then they just buy back about that same amount.
Yeah, and they're not doing buybacks right now because they're shifting away from issuing shares and taking on debt to funding their growth with their free cash flow.
Yeah, because they can't quite yet because they're still negative on earnings per share. So they're buying back shares right now. Shareholders will get pissy.
Yeah. So, but they are managing to grow, like open new stores and things with just spending their free cash flow on it. And so I think that's pretty good because obviously if they don't have to take on a huge amount of debt and don't have to issue a ton of new shares, it's better value for shareholders, I think, right now for them to do it that way.
CEO is a mastermind.
Oh yeah. Raj Grover,
very
very intelligent guy.
Reposted multiple of our posts multiple times this week.
Yeah.
Good guy.
He's the CEO is also the founder and the biggest individual shareholder. He's only ever sold shares once, and it was to cover a tax bill that he had.
Oh yeah, of course you get that stuff all the time.
Yeah. And well, here's the thing. After he did the sale and it got reported, he instantly went on Twitter and explained why he sold shares, because before that he had never sold any shares before in all the years he's owned the company. And he wanted to make sure people knew that, like, hey, this was specifically because I have a certain amount of taxes due on my personal side, and this is all I have available to me to be able to raise the money to pay that, because obviously the Canadian government taxes wealthy people probably at a pretty high rate. And
yes, they do.
Yeah, and as a CEO of a publicly traded company, he probably makes a pretty high amount of salary, and I
mean that's all public. We can look it up if you want.
Yeah. So it makes sense. And I don't even know, like, property tax wise, anything like that, like
1.71 mil.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably tax him close to 50% on that then.
And then 30 mil worth of shares.
You guys follow like Self-Made Mastery? She's pretty cool on Twitter or X. She was like, I paid like 48% in taxes. And I was like, wait, I was like, does that include your property tax and like all the other things? She's like, no. It was 40-something%. I don't know if it's 48, but I was just like, wow.
But yeah, it's interesting, the similarities I think between High Tide and Costco. Like, it's basically like they took some of the they basically learned some things from Costco, like those higher paid tier discount members. Like they realize, like, oh, this is like really high margin money that we can just bring in, and I think they get more revenue per customer out of those people too, like because they feel invested.
And a lot of people too, like, I mean, people spend more money at Costco because oh, I'm getting such a good deal on everything. Yeah. Like, I have a Costco membership. I buy my allergy medicine, and then I make a list and I stick to it. And if Costco doesn't have those things, then I don't buy those things. I'm probably the worst Costco shopper. Like, they probably hate me.
Well, and they also have like special like deals on specific things that are branded specifically just for their paid members.
Well, like the
And,
thing
like,
too, the
and-
stores are nice.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
like
yeah, the
most
stores
cannabis
are
stores,
nice. Yeah.
they're so trashy. I'm the first one
Yeah,
to admit
same
it.
in
I don't
Colorado.
smoke or whatever. And that's my concern with like investing in cannabis companies is like the
Yeah.
stores are trashy. I couldn't name a brand off my head or whatever
Yeah.
that like
It's
if I
an
go there and
upscale
package.
experience in their stores. I've seen pictures. It's nice.
You don't have like a 21-year-old loser that lives in his mom's basement that works the front desk and steals the company's product working it. Like, no, it's actually good. And
That's actually a huge problem in Colorado.
yeah.
It's really interesting in the cannabis industry here because Colorado is the first state to pass it, or one of the first states, or whatever. You can't use like credit card or debit card. You have to use like cash.
Yeah, that's a safe banking thing. Yeah.
You have these ATMs, and I was looking at trying to buy an ATM route at one point, and I was like, how are these two machines making $190,000 a year? And I contacted the broker, and he's like, oh, it's owned by like it's at a cannabis shop. I was like, so how much do you need to load the ATM with? And he was like, well, you probably need to load it every single day. And this place was like 2 hours away from me. I was like, yeah, nope, okay, never mind. I was thinking like, oh, maybe once a week that'd be fine. But I have to load it with how much money?
The trick there is see if they'll let you put like 3 or 4 ATMs in there and then just do them once a week.
Well, the thing is like, so when I was talking to the broker about the ATM routes, a lot of people, you drain them every single night, or you put only a certain amount because in case they get robbed or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That would be bearish.
Yeah. Around where I live, like a lot of the ATMs are just in businesses that are open 24 hours. So that's less of a risk, I guess.
Mm. Did you see the Hawk Tua girl had her coin? She did a pump and dump thing. And the great thing is that like there's actual accountability and she's probably going to go to jail. That brings me a lot of joy.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
wait. Then she can be on Mug Shotties. That'd be awesome.
I haven't heard the reason, but like, yeah, it was actually heinous. Like, I kind of couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
I don't feel bad for anybody that lost money on it because it's like, it's obviously dumb. I think we lost Kage.
The Oracle got him.
Oh no.
He's tampered with your systems when theft was mentioned. When theft and crime was mentioned. Yeah, we'll talk about this situation because I wanted to either way.
Oh wow.
We can talk about this too. The healthcare shooter. So I did a little prank on our group chat yesterday, the CFK group chat.
By the way, I was on my work Wi-Fi when I tried to open that the first time.
Oh.
So
Ryan gets Fiscal fired, everybody. The cash flow kings all in.
Yeah.
Point the finger at me. I don't have much to lose. I'm a Brinkline community college student.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was definitely kind of crazy. Now on TV, everybody's saying that like this guy definitely isn't any kind of like a pro or anything. Just maybe a gun enthusiast who was really mad. That's what people are saying. I could see that. What do you think?
Apparently there's like a signal that he could have been coming to where I live, where if anybody knows, they know. It's not Atlanta. That would have been kind of funny if I just saw. I don't know. I just think I'm kind of disturbed by how many people are happy that he's dead. Like the guy had a family. I understand that like it's kind of stupid of me saying that, like, you know, because I don't pay a lot. I don't really have to worry about insurance or health insurance right now, but like,
right.
I don't know. The guy had a family. I'm sure he was a noble man. You can't be like celebrating. Like, it's kind of crazy how many people are like extremely happy that he got popped.
And my only thing is like, obviously, it's not any one person's fault. The system is the way it is. You know, the claims get denied or whatever. But I think it is interesting to see how many people are very, very unhappy with the way insurance works in the U.S.
Yeah. Cage is back. After the illegal tampering, he is back.
Yeah, my internet not my internet went down. In my room specifically, it keeps going down. So I'm
Much
on
better
Wi-Fi.
now. Much
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Sweet.
were
Hello?
talking about Hawk Tuah girl, the coin that she scammed in
Oh
the
yeah.
healthcare shooter.
I know you're talking about health insurance too.
Yeah.
I had to, so like I got off my insurance and I switched to another one, and I had to get the HPV shot, like the cancer shot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But my health insurance got switched, but I had to keep going with the same company. So I spent $950 just to finish out the shots
Wow.
because the insurance wouldn't cover it. Yeah, and I couldn't go anywhere else. So that was awesome that I had to spend. I probably should have just restarted the shots and just gone to the place that I could have. It would probably would have been cheaper, but I didn't know that it would have cost that much money. Uh, yeah, that kind of sucked. And I remember I got this letter in the mail, like I don't know, it's like 3 months ago, and it took me 3 hours just to figure out where I can go that took my health insurance.
Oh.
And like I was just talking, like, oh, you can go here. I'm like, I'm not asking. Like, I was like, I know I can't go there. I'm asking where I can go. And it was this guy with this really thick accent. I was like, oh my god, I just want to figure out where I can go. I'm just like, just
Okay,
tell me
no,
where
you
I can
need to
go.
go to Walgreens and CVS.
So, I mean, with my health insurance, like I have like a login I can go on, and like if I'm looking for like care or doctors or whatever, like it'll give me a list of people.
Oh, mine
in my
does too
area.
now.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't know how to get to that. Because I was completely new, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't like they had like this website thing, and like I would go to the app, and I was like, okay, so that doctor doesn't. He's been retired for 5 years or whatever. Like, your lists are really outdated. Like, where can I? So yeah, that was awful. Um, yeah, I understand why people never want to go to the doctor because dealing with that was just so stressful. Like because I went into kinesiology and like, oh, you're supposed to get your physical every year, guys. And I understand why a lot of people don't because just dealing with all the health insurance stuff is just like, oh, I don't care.
This is turning into a real Joe Rogan episode. We're getting into like healthcare. Fiscal, what are your thoughts on going to the physician? Because these are decisions that I'm gonna have to start dealing with next couple of years. If you're a healthy guy, you eat good, no crazy family history or whatever. What are your thoughts? How often should we be going to the doctors?
So I mean, I have different appointments. Like it feels like all the time because like I go to a sports medicine guy because like I'm riddled with just issues from too much training when I was a little bit younger.
Too much training.
Too much training. Yeah. I also have to get like blood work all the time because like the doctor has like a set of blood work they want, and my work requires like biometrics for insurance. I get a surcharge if I don't pass the biometrics. So like if I'm too fat, my cholesterol is too bad, whatever, I can end up having to pay more on my health insurance through my work.
You can't use the excuse that you're bulking.
Japan does that
no,
too,
they don't,
actually.
they don't care about that. They're just gonna try. Oh, also they test me for nicotine.
Oh wow, actually.
So, yeah. So if I'm found to have consumed nicotine with like, I think the test is only good for like anything within the last few weeks because it's out of your system pretty quick. But if they detect the nicotine metabolite, I think it's called like something with a C, is what they actually detect because nicotine is gone in like a day. But this other substance it's in your system for like a couple weeks. And if you're an addicted smoker, you can't give up smoking for 2 weeks to cheat the test. So it's pretty foolproof. But that does mean like, okay, be careful not to like have a cigar or something, at all. Like I have to really be careful what I do. I can't do certain things, and
it's wild.
Obviously, it's just a little annoying that like I have to keep going into like different places and get poked. And one year they they like lost my sample, or like it didn't get to the refrigerator fast enough, and so it spoiled or whatever, and I had to like go in and get poked again and stuff. And I'm like, this is so annoying. I hate this. But all in all, I think you need to go at least once a year for like an annual just workup. Yeah. Even if you are healthy and whatever. Because there's certain markers where they can find if there's something out of spec, it means like, hey, they can look closer at that thing. And
they can get you back in.
Yeah.
And like, hey, you have like I had high uric acid, but like I thought I sprained my toe, and so I didn't go in. And then after like 6 weeks, I went to go get blood work, and my doctor was like, "You have really high uric acid." He's like, "You probably have gout."
Yeah.
And then I was like, he's like, "Don't eat meat, don't eat sugar, don't do this." And I was like, "Okay." And I did that for like 2 weeks, and it went away. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So now I go in like once a year to see if my blood is high. Although I had to go in earlier because I kept having like minor attacks. And they're like, "Oh, it's because the crystals didn't get out of your system, and so now we're just going to give you this drug, so like flush it out all the way." But I think people should really go once a year because you never know. Because I was a pretty healthy dude. Like I do flips and stuff, and
and like honestly, I think it is important to, especially the things like the A1C, you know, to see how well you're regulating your blood sugar and stuff, because you will know very well ahead of time if you're at risk for type 2 diabetes, because your ability to your insulin resistance basically and ability to regulate your blood sugar well will be detectable in your A1C number, like way in advance of you actually being a full-on type 2 diabetic, as long as you just get it checked once a freaking year. Because it takes
sure you're not a cut, though. If you're bulking, then it's out of context. Your cholesterol and blood sugar levels are 3 times.
Well, here's the thing. It's not a measure of your current blood glucose. It's how easily your body regulates it over, because your red blood cells, they have like a 3 to 4 month lifespan. And so it's basically like, since they look at your specifically your red blood cells, they can tell essentially how well you've been your body has been regulating its blood sugar over the last 3 to 4 months. That it gives them that long of a snapshot.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, the Haktua coin. I didn't go full port into it, unfortunately. I was considering.
You didn't lose all your money?
No, I was gonna go 33,000 deep into it, but Schwab wouldn't let me get the money out. There was some buffoonery going on there.
Oh, I hate it when Schwab.
What's the over underline that she faces legal repercussions? What do we want to set it out? Minus 185.
If you want just like the straight odds, I think it's like 75% chance she doesn't get in any real.
I think she's not, because I mean, worst case scenario, she's just gonna move to a different country. I mean, like when Andrew Tate was getting a bunch of flack, he's just like, "All right, going to Dubai for a little bit."
Well, it's more like how
it's
many
also
other
crypto.
People,
it's not super regulated yet.
Yeah, people rug pull coins every day, and almost nobody gets prosecuted for it.
She might get like I think what might happen, she's not probably gonna get prosecuted, but she's gonna have to like come out and like do an apology or whatever, and
it'll be like all the people
maybe
that promoted FTX, basically.
Maybe give some money back to some people,
Yeah,
but not like. But it's gonna be like a fraction. Like if they lost 10,000, they'll probably give like $1,000 settlement. But like, yeah, you shouldn't have been dumb, like investing at your own risk, dude.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I do think like people need to be responsible for their own stupidity at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like I have zero sympathy for anyone that lost money. On the coin. Like you all deserve your results. You're stupid and you deserve it. That is how
I'm gonna give you money. I'm gonna give you money back to her. That's gonna be the thing.
I mean, I like some of the posts, and it was like she going hawk to jail or whatever.
Hawk to a jail. That's funny.
She's gonna get hawked to a jail, or there are some really funny comics.
Yeah, we made the wrong people famous.
Although
The Costco guys deserved it, but not.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, they're so annoying. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing to hurt you?
I
They're
know.
just saying boom. Yeah, like one of their kids is like really obese, and that's kind of not okay because like you should try to help your kid. Like you're controlling what they eat, right? Like, but you don't know the kid could have like other health issues too, and they're just like, yeah, we're not going to do that. Like you don't know about their life, right?
There's a lot of kids that are like crazy fat when they grow up, but like once they hit that teenage phase, it just goes away. Like, and it's weird.
There are quite a few, but some of it's like
Yeah, the
over the
parents are
top.
overfeeding them. Yeah.
I have family like that one side of my family, and it's
Same.
like, really, like, what are you doing? They can't control that. Ah,
Yeah.
cool. I can see myself on this screen. I'm trying to figure out if I can get my computer to work, but I'm just not gonna do it. I
Have
can
any of you
see I
guys
can see the other one.
have any of you guys looked into Uber stock yet?
I'm
I
starting to
have
look
looked
into it.
into Uber.
Fiscal, we might get into it.
Yeah, well, because I'm already very heavily invested into Grab, which is the same business model.
Yeah.
And
I
actually,
remember looking into DoorDash, and this was in 2021. I was reading their 10K, and I remember doing the math, and I had one of my friends help me, who's like a fund manager. He's like in that space. I was like, did I do my math right? They have to have like on average a $41 order to be profitable. And he was like, yeah,
honestly,
it's like,
I
I was like,
well,
holy
I
cow.
have an anecdote for you. I order like, don't judge me, but like last night I was having one of those late night rendezvous, and there was some alcohol involved. You know, one of those things you don't want to do at 8 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And McDonald's seemed like a good idea, and so I went to DoorDash, and it came out to like $30.
Yeah.
No joke. For
Wow.
McDonald's.
I want to have Arya on over Christmas break because he's in Uber now.
I love Arya. He's such a fun guy.
Yeah, we need to get him back on because I need to be sold on Uber because that's an interesting play, and there's not a lot of stocks right now that I can honestly say are like really on sale.
Like for me, it's not that big of a jump to get into Uber if I'm already in Grab. Although I like Grab better because they don't have their freight business. But with Uber, the stock price just took a hit not long ago, and the freight market is improving, it seems. So that's not going to be as much of a drag on them probably for the next few quarters at least. So with the stock price being down and the one bad part of their business likely to do a little bit better in the near future, it seems like it could be a good setup.
I mean, they've done really well this year. Like they've actually like gotten their numbers up, and they're figuring out a lot of things. They're figuring out all of their quirks, and
people think that Waymo and Robotaxi and stuff.
That's what Joseph Carlson said that because I sent it to Arya. Joseph Carlson made a tweet. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw it.
Waymo is a tiny speck of overall Google business. Waymo is a very big deal to Uber. Waymo isn't a big deal to Google. So it's like, Arya was pissed off. I'm not going to reveal what he said, but he was not happy.
Uber has done something pretty interesting too. Like, they're letting drivers have their own rented cars. And so like you're not putting I don't know exactly how that works. I tried to sign up for like Uber, and I've gotten like, hey, you should sign up now. Because like I wanted the option just in case, like, if you lose a job or whatever, you can get money quickly, right, through those things. That's why I have like an Instacart thing. I haven't done them, but I just want that as backup. But they're like, oh yeah, look, you can drive our Uber rented car, and you don't have to actually use your own car. I was like, that's actually kind of cool, because there's a big percentage of people are like, I don't want to drive my car, or like my car's my car,
right?
And so, but they're the only company that I know of that's like actually getting into that, and I was like, that's really smart. Hopefully they get good drivers though, because that could go bad very quickly.
True. But yeah, I think that is interesting because they can. I assume that the driver probably gets a little bit less when they use the Uber car, but it's all profit.
Oh yeah, you do. You get less, but you're not putting miles on your car.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
yeah,
a
I could
big
see that
thing.
being a good. I mean, and there might be some people that like have the time and a driver's license, but they don't even have a car.
Yeah, that was a thing too. And they're like, "Hey, do you need a car? We can help get you a car too on the road if needed, and
Yeah.
like we can help with financing and stuff." Because I got an email about it literally yesterday, so that's why.
Yeah. No,
I
it
was like,
that
"Oh,
does
this is
seem pretty
interesting."
smart. Yeah. Um, but at the same time, it's like I would kind of be overlapping because Uber actually has equity in Grab, and
Yeah,
they're
that's what I was thinking earlier. Because I'm
yeah,
like, I wonder.
and
I feel like Fiscal will look into it, but because the Grab holding, I just don't feel like you'd
yeah.
I
do
mean,
that.
I thought of buying Google because they own 8% of SpaceX. That was my
Yeah.
only reason of wanting to buy Google.
And Uber's CEO is on their board and stuff. So like, there's so much overlap,
Hmm.
and it's like, and Grab is kind of like they're at that point where they're like just starting to go like in the positives on all the profitability metrics, and that tends to be a point where you get a lot of momentum. Uber is like a bit more mature in like their kind of business cycle than Grab.
Yeah, I know they're branching out to different countries too.
Mm,
And
yeah.
so that's pretty because there's a lot of countries that are needed. Like, so my dad, he works for a hard drive company, uh, but he has an India team. I mean, there's only a couple hard drive companies, so you can assume which ones. uh, and they actually, like, they don't have their cars and they drive them out. Like, they
Mm,
have people to, like, and that's just their job is to drive their team to the office in India.
yeah.
And so, like, I know Uber is trying to aggressively, like, take those, like, things like, hey, we can be those partners instead. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely need Arya on to heavily describe Uber and trying to sell it to me, and it will
I
work
mean,
too.
he
I can
has
already tell.
it's what I think yeah, I have his portfolio right now. I just looked it up. 9.1% of his portfolio, so he really believes
Yeah,
in it. I'm like an
and
index fund and chill guy. Like
yeah,
75% of my portfolio is just ETFs.
it's weird. My
What it
portfolio right now is like doing the bet. It's like suspicious. Like how like every day it's like up $150, and it just keeps climbing.
it's
Kind of
it's
scary.
like, oh, some people are getting really cocky in the market too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of a lot of
That's
people.
that's the point of the title, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 80% of my portfolio is unintentionally ETFs. At one point, it was way more, but I sold off a lot of my individual holdings. I sold off ExxonMobil this year. I bought them during COVID, and nobody
oh
believed me that I bought them for $34 a share. And I
yeah.
was like, yeah, I put $300 into it. That's literally all I had. Um, and it had like 180 some percent gain, and I was just like, I don't see this growing any more than this, really.
You indexed it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I just put it into
Yeah,
Vue.
smart.
Because I was like, I don't see it. And I noticed like things like trends when there's a big market crash. Oil does really bad. Cruise
Hmm.
ships do really bad.
Yeah,
Hotels do really bad. And so I was like, the next like big crash, I'm just gonna load up on those.
I think
Because I did buy
Marriott
Royal
would be a
Caribbean
really
too.
fun company. Marriott,
I mean,
hotels. Once they get what if there's another recession or something bad, hopefully, could happen.
yeah, like, and they like same with a lot of REITs and stuff. Like just historically, like every single one, I was like, this is weird. So I'm just gonna load up a bunch.
Yeah. Ugh, the things I do
But I'm
for a
not gonna
20% market crash.
I'm not gonna stay in it for a while. Yeah, because when the market crashes 20%, they crash like 50,
Yeah,
and it's
and
just
like your
wild.
yield on cost
So,
is crazy.
hmm
Yeah, I'm
but yeah,
trying to
now
get
like I have Visa too, but they've not
same.
really done anything. Like my
They got
cost
like
basis
310, and they're
is,
just staying there. It's kind of annoying because I was loading up like 280, 270.
and mine was 221, but I bought them 4 years ago or 3 years ago. I don't even
Yeah.
remember. So like I've heavily underperformed the S&P 500 with my Visa. I might be just at it, but like it's not very good.
I feel
My
like
Celsius
everybody.
stock is doing terrible. That's okay.
Oh, with Celsius, I always ask because I think Dividend Dude owns it too. Are you worried about like there hasn't been a lot of like longevity in the brand? Like it's been
I
kind of
mean, I own
trendy over
three
the last
shares
5
of it.
years. Oh,
I
okay.
don't care.
So it's literally like $80 or something, huh?
Yeah, I
Gonna
only
kinda-
bought them. I was like, hey, I can drink these with gout. This is great. I can't drink Monster because they put a bunch of other preservatives and stuff in them.
Yeah.
And like I've tried it and like I can feel it in like my joints that it like starts to hurt if I have a few of them. So like, oh, can't do that one either. But Celsius, it doesn't do anything. So I'm like, this is great. So
Yeah.
that was my only reason for buying it.
What all energy drinks brands have you actually tried so far?
I've tried pretty much like Logan Paul's one,
Oh, no.
C4's. I've only tried the diet ones because I can't have. You want to try if you have gout, you want to stay away from processed sugar as much as you can.
I only drink zero sugar. Like this is you ever watch DerekMorePlatesMoreDates.com?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, this is his
watch him
Gorilla
all the
Mind
time.
energy drink. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Not
awesome.
sponsored. Not sponsored.
not sponsored, by the way. Derek, call me.
Yeah.
But no,
We'll
they're
get
all.
He's
It's
a
like
fun
15
dude.
calories, no sugar.
Yeah, I what's his name? Kryptonian Sane Anime Explained or whatever. Like I've been following him for a while. He's like sponsored by G Fuel or whatever, and so I'll probably try G Fuel with his link.
G Fuel's pretty good. It's also
That was so
but-
cool 5 years ago. Or like 6 or 7 years ago. G Fuel was so cool.
I don't know. Like I've tried a lot of them. I used to have like Rockstar doesn't do very well. There's this like 7-Up brand called Venoms. I tried them and I was like, no, like I can just feel it like
the
hurting.
problem is anytime either like Coke or Pepsi or one of the major beverage brands buys out an energy drink, they always change the formula.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like because
I mean,
Pepsi
so
bought
that is an
Rockstar.
interesting thing about Celsius is Pepsi owns, I believe it's about 10% of them. It might be 8%, but it's a decent amount, and they're not messing with anything.
Right. Well, that's
So-
because but Pepsi has 100% of Rockstar now. They 100% they changed the formula.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But like, the only thing I don't like about Celsius is 200 milligrams of caffeine is a lot. If you don't know, caffeine has like a half-life of 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you drink it at like, let's say 12 o'clock, by the time you go to bed, you still have like 50 milligrams of caffeine in you.
Also, it is a little bit about the concentration too, because Celsius is in like the little 12-ounce cans.
Mm-hmm.
But these ones and like Rise, and there's some other ones, Ghost, they have 200 milligrams, but it's in the 16-ounce cans, so it's not quite as concentrated, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I just wish they had like 100 milligram option.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing, because Monster's actually the one that's got like 160 or whatever. Like it's a little bit less, you know?
Yeah, I just think a lot of them are just like, I don't need that much caffeine.
Yeah.
And so like I'll end up drinking like half of it and I'll feel like I'm wasting it.
Yeah.
But I did discover with Celsius is they have these like packets that you can do. And so I'm thinking of trying to buy those packets because then it doesn't have the citric acid and doesn't ruin your teeth. Like I have braces right now too, so it's kind of I don't want to mess with those things.
Oh yeah.
But so I thought about like going to Amazon, buying the packets and only just putting half of it because then you're only getting 100 milligrams, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like maybe I can just
Yeah.
DIY my own.
Yeah. And you could even get like carbonated water, like or whatever, seltzer water, and you know.
Yeah, I don't care too much about that. I just
For me, like
think
I
they
need
taste
my
good,
energy drinks
so.
to be carbonated, bro. I can't have a flat energy drink.
The peach vibe for Celsius tastes like a diet Arizona tea, and I love Arizona, but I can't drink them anymore, right? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I can, but
You don't want.
so
It's not a good idea.
I just really like them.
Yeah.
Seymour Duck asks, have you ever tried Zevia?
I don't know what that is.
It's
in the US.
So it's a soda that's sweetened with stevia, basically.
Zevia near me. Let me see if I can even find it.
It's more expensive than regular, but it is.
Oh, I have looked at that. It looks like, yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, "What is that?" And I didn't even like look at it. Like I just like glanced at it. I was like, "That looks dumb," because the labeling just looked, very what's the word? Colorful.
Mm.
I thought it was like some knockoff brand.
Mm.
I was just like, okay, that's weird. So I didn't even bother looking at the label.
Yeah, it was weird this week for my portfolio.
Maybe I will try that.
I hit like 3 milestones. It was like I hit portfolio past 33,000 for the first time.
Hey, that's awesome.
I got past 4,000 worth of SHG, and I still want to get that to like, I want to get it to 25% of the portfolio. So, but I'm not.
Isn't that the Schwab Growth Fund, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to do 25% SHG and then 10% SHD. So it's like 35% of the portfolio in that because I just want to index it. And then I passed 100 shares of SHD now because they split.
I used to have SCHD. I sold them back in February before split. I sold 161 shares. I don't know what the split was. But I put it all into VU.
Smart. Yeah,
I like SCHD.
The calculation is just trying like if I went 10% SHD, 10% SHG, that's pretty much the S&P 500's return. So why not add like an extra 5% of SHG? Hopefully it grows a little more. And
I mean, that's what I did with my Roth. I'm just VU and then VUG basically. Because I was like, okay, this is a tech heavy fund. It's like 50% tech. Hopefully it grows a little more.
Yeah. The issue I would have with VU right now is it's so much in like Nvidia and Tesla.
Oh yeah, well,
and it's
that's
like
why I'm gonna buy so much when it goes down.
It's like these are things that I don't really care. Apple, like I don't want my
I have Apple.
I don't want my highest allocation to be Apple. Sorry, no disrespect. It's just
I sold more Apple this week. I sold it like 242 and I put it in SHD and SHG.
Just my cost basis on Apple is 120 something.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I bought Apple before they had the split, like the 5-to-1 split. And this was kind of like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get more shares. I knew I wasn't gonna get more, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I remember buying some, and that was like kind of the final push to buy it, which is kind of silly, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, it does increase like options liquidity. That's like the main thing.
It does increase options liquidity, but like I have 18 shares of it, so I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right, gotcha. But yeah, no, if you had like a higher share count, like definitely, like it would open up, like you could do covered calls.
Yeah, a lot of Chipotle people like really like the stock split because I know people who are doing a bunch of covered calls with them too. Because it's like
yeah. I mean, honestly, if Amazon keeps taking off, I hope they do another stock split.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it finally took off because like Jeff Bezos is like, I'm not going to sell more a bunch because he did say
selling more.
He did say he was going to sell $1 billion a year to fund his space thing, Blue Origin.
Yeah.
But he said, and like and he's been pretty true to that. And so anytime the stock gets to a pretty like good price, he's like, all right, I need my $1 billion now.
But it's funny because like compared to the overall market cap of Amazon, $1 billion worth is a blip. It's a rounding error.
Yeah, but a lot of them, when they like see that, they're like, "Oh my gosh, the CEO!" Wow,
yeah, they called it the Bezos ball when he was selling around 200.
Even though they don't really like, he said that he's just
Isn't
like,
it crazy?
This is what I'm gonna do, and people just don't listen.
160 for a minute there.
Those were good times, Fiscal. We were buying that.
Yeah, I know. I'm good. Like Amazon, my basis is actually below when it's like 179 or something.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. It's done quite well. And it's like, all right. It's the only Mag 7 that I own though.
But back to Apple though, like a giant reason, like Fiscal can vouch for this. Like I was always one of those guys that was just like, Apple's an awesome business. I love Tim Cook. It's just, I know the valuation's crazy, but like, let me just continue to hold on to it. I've like been convinced to just index it or trim it like a really good gain. Like I sold it a 69% gain. Nice.
That's pretty good. Nice.
But like I'm just indexing it because I'm still going to get exposure through SHG. So I mean, it's like you got to put your emotions aside a little bit. If anybody owns Apple and is considering trimming,
I was actually like a couple days ago, I learned like a sentence in Japanese, and it's like they say Steve Jobs, and we're like Steve Jobsume, and they were like saying like freaking Steve Jobs. Like if you have like the May particle, I thought it was really funny, and I was like, wow, when was this lesson made? Steve Jobs hasn't been around forever.
Well, we've been live for a good hour and 10 minutes. It's been a fun time, Kaj. I learned how to pronounce your name in this hour. It's
No,
we covered a lot though.
It's Kage.
Yep, it's like
I lied.
ka and then like you're gay.
Yeah.
I'm uncultured, as you
Yeah.
can tell. The only thing
It's
I know about
okay.
Japan is the pancakes and the questionable vending machines. So
All vending machines are everywhere. My dad
Yeah.
grew up in Japan. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, you could buy beer when you were a kid in Japan.
yeah, you can also buy pantyhose through a vending machine.
You can buy a bunch of things in vending
You
machines.
can also buy used panties. It's a true story.
In a
Hey,
vending
National
machine?
Kings channel member, anything can happen. So
Wild.
plug anything. Obviously you get your Twitter. Anything else? Now's the
I'm
time.
good. But yeah, I just have my Twitter. I mean, everything's my link tree anyways. But like, I pretty much only use Twitter or X. I had TikTok, and then I started just posting me learning Japanese, and then I kind of forgot about TikTok. It's a lot of work making TikTok videos. I went viral on TikTok a few times, but I was just like, this is just... And I would get addicted to it.
What do you mean by
and I would be on there for 3
viral?
hours.
How many views?
Like, I had posts that would get 1 million views.
Oh, no.
And then I had to block a bunch of people because there's like so much toxicity on it. And this was a while. This was about 1.5 years ago. And like I force blocked most of my people that followed me because I was just like, dude, this is just... I kept getting messages and like a lot of them were just toxic. And I was like, I don't care. Like, this is not why I made videos.
Yeah.
And TikTok's a whole different ballgame.
On TikTok.
Yeah. No TikTok.
Yeah, not for us yet. But
Be like Caleb Hammer, make the 60-second clips.
Yeah, we put on grow a neck beard and put on a lot of weight, and we'll be like that. We'll be like him. Thank you once again for
Have
coming
a good
on.
one, guys.
It was a treat. Thank you. Links in the description.
Thank you for having me.
Good time.
Fun time.
That was a treat. Yeah, but next, I don't know. Fiscal, I was thinking we should do a full portfolio reveal for maybe some of the newer viewers.
Yeah.
And plus, we haven't done a weekly update, so like maybe we should dedicate an entire episode to just full portfolio reveal, minute thesis or two.
Yeah, sure. I'm down for that because I've had some changes very recently, and so my portfolio definitely looks way different than it did a year ago. So
yeah,
like a lot of stocks I bought this year went up a lot, for example.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like Amazon, High-Tech, everything's up. It's like kind of weird. Everything's a target.
All the new ones that I picked this year have all done very well.
Yeah.
That just shows that I've gotten better at this, or I'm just lucky now. I don't know.
I absolutely want to get more into small caps though next year for sure. Even now, like I definitely want to. We have a guy that's coming on for the next High Tide roundtable, which we'll do after the earnings. That seems to be a reoccurring theme, which I like now. We're having MV Kuna on.
I've seen him on Twitter, I think.
Yeah, so he's coming out with Blake for sure. The next High Tide after the next earnings report.
Who
knows? Once we have Raj on, dude, that like my life will be complete.
Yeah, for sure.
It can happen, but we need to grow the channel, and one way that we can grow the channel is by becoming a channel member. We want to shout out all 8 of our channel members right now. Shout out to Alex, Seymour Duck, Bacon, Dividend Dog. We got to have him on sometime soon. RM3 Trades, Greg King, Mysterious Guy, Andrew Money Marshall, and Double D's Dividend Dude. Thank you all for your continued support. Once again, if you want to become a channel member, it's only $2 a month. That pretty good benefits. There's some exclusive episodes, some that may have had me getting death threats in my life at danger. So like, I think that's worth the $2 right there. You also can join the show whenever you want, unlimited impersonation requests, merch discount, bunch of fun stuff. $2 a month. Once again, it goes a long way.
Look who's in the chat right here at the end.
Yeah, Aria, we need to. We'll have you on for over Christmas break for sure. We need the Uber thesis just needs to be, Yeah. And once again, thank you to Seymour Duck.
Any requests? We're obligated.
Yeah, if you want any impersonation requests,
this last minute or so is your time now.
Thank you for the 5 minutes though. I didn't answer. We didn't have the time. I'm sorry. We were talking.
The Oracle interrupted the stream. We couldn't do it.
Yeah, he lagged. Yeah. Once again, members only. If you, that's a fun episode. Episode 32. Ugh.
So, all right. Any requests from Seymour? Or
yeah, Seymour, you have a minute. Alan asks a good question. Hey, holiday New Year's plans. For our last show of the year, of course, we're gonna do our quote of the year and it's
so
quote of the year and comment of the year award. So we gotta pick like
so
there's some good ones.
Is the question of what I would fight?
Yeah.
10 frog-sized lions seems
Yeah,
more to me. Like 100 lion-sized frogs, like 100 frogs that are like each several hundred
Did
pounds.
he mess that up? I think he messed that up. I think it's 100. Okay, Seymour asked the question, but I want to get to this first. 100. I think it's 100 frog-sized lions.
Oh, still that, yeah.
Or 100, yeah.
Or 10 lion-sized frogs.
I'll take the 10 on. I'll go for the. I'll try and ankle lock the.
Because honestly, one lion-sized frog would murk me, right? I'd have a chance against the smaller opponents, even if there's a ton more of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might still lose from fatigue.
I mean, like, what would they do though? Like the frogs, like they don't have any outstanding. They just get you slimy. It would gross you out if they're big, obviously. But
they could crush you. Like, do you know how strong? Like, if you scaled up those legs, how strong they would be?
Yeah, you got to break them. Okay. Seymour asked a good question. If you had to pick a non-U.S. or Canadian stock, which would it be? You'd probably say
Grab for me, right? I already have that one.
Okay, let me look at the portfolio. Yeah, but Aria, I'm waiting to be convinced on Uber once you come on over break. We also want permission to ask you about the dividend dude situation. We need the intervention to happen. Okay, let's see if I have any. Geez, I hope I have some non-US. Let's see. Geez, I might have to say BTI if I don't have anything.
Oh yeah, BTI is good too. I have both.
That might have to be the
largest holding, actually.
Geez, this is all American. Yeah, one US, one non-US. I'd probably have to say BTI.
Yeah, I'd also say look at Vail.
Yeah,
so
I definitely want.
It's cheap right now.
I absolutely want to look at some small caps though in the new year. That's definitely something I want to get into because like High Tide, it's kind of crazy. Like I'll be honest, it's I'm kind of hoping it goes down again though for sure. Like I know it's still relatively undervalued to where it's gonna be in a few years, and especially if like the thing really scales over 10 years. But yeah.
So yeah, those are he thinks ASML is a good pick, I guess.
ASML, yeah, I don't blame him. Jin. We can talk about good books to help you. Yeah. Well, I think we'll talk about Ryan's academic situation before we head out of here. Okay. I'm struggling right now, everybody. This is not bullish times. It's mainly for one class. I was talking about it on Discord earlier, but I think the assignments are very unfair. The teacher and the course doesn't have my full respect and credit. I'm getting Fiscal. I want to put you in the driver's seat here. Do you think it's fair if you get an F on a paper, which I'll disagree with in the first place, but if you get an F, should you get like 50 or 50 points or whatever, or should you just get 0 for the entire assignment if you put work into it?
I think that the number of points you get should depend on like whatever the scoring system is. There should be different elements of the assignment should have a certain point value, and whatever you actually did, or each thing that you did wrong should have a certain amount deducted. A 0 should be like in the event of like you either didn't do it or you completely plagiarized it. Those are the only two ways you get a 0, I would think. 2
of which I've never done, or I've like. It's frustrating. We have like an essay every week for this class, and like I'm not even lying. I've actually gotten like an F or a 0 for the last 5 probably, and I do the revisions or whatever, and it's just I'm gonna have to pull off an academic miracle. We've been in this situation before. We'll have to pull it off again.
Yeah.
Was the scoring system subjective or objective?
Meaning, is it opinion or is it fact as to what counts towards the points? Like, is it a 0 because the professor doesn't like it, or is it because like there were certain requirements for the assignment that just were not met?
Jeez, can I say a mix? Does it have to be one or the other? Because I think it could be a mix. But like, even if there were 5 requirements, I probably only missed like 2 max. It's like a 3, so not very good. It's just like unnecessarily hard for it's a commons class for community college. Like, it should not be English. It's English. 6th grade. That's funny. That's witty, Carl or Alan.
Yeah.
No, it's just like I'll make it through, but it's just like a pain in the ass. Academic comebacks or something that I'm used to, so we'll get through it. Clashing very badly. Okay, here. Yep, English. It's not you, it's them. Yeah, it's. I hate to like it's one of those things too that like it just puts you down. So it's like I feel low value right now. Like, if I want to get into like finance too, like, oh, it's a pain in the ass. We'll get through it though. That's absolutely how it is though. Like it's. I swear to, like, I put effort in every assignment. I've never missed anything. It's just like my grade's like a 50 right now because I just get a 0 for every essay.
Yeah, the zeros are the problem for my, like, if you objectively like just didn't do a very good job on the paper, I could see getting like a 50 or a 60 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a
0 for a paper that you actually did. There's words on the page, and it's not just nonsense. It's not plagiarized. It's the number of paragraphs or whatever it's supposed to be. Like, you should be getting something that isn't a 0 on that.
They just won't completely drag your grade down by like 30 points.
Yeah, I think that the professor is probably full of shit.
Agreed.
I suspect.
Right. Yeah, suspect.
Hey, maybe like somebody should send them a clip of the surveillance video of the United Healthcare thing as a hint to stop giving you 0s.
We'll have the Oracle do it. Go to the what I'm gonna do is probably send an email. I'll just like say, hey, anyway, because I need to get a C for the class. Right now, I think I'm at like a 50. So I have my final project, and it's like I have my final project left. So I kind of need a Hail Mary. So I'm probably just gonna write an email right now. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm working really hard on this class. It doesn't seem that I'm, doing good enough. Is there anything I could do, any extra work or assignments to raise my grade to a C? And I think a C, it's not like I'm asking for it to be an A. I think it's more reasonable. Like, it's not a good grade, but it's what I need.
Yeah.
Rewrite them over Christmas break. Yeah, we'll see about that break. I hate to say it. We'll see about that. I'm not expecting to have to retake this class. I'll get my way one way or another. That's how winners are made. My English class where Stonehenge derives from its structure from the materials used to construct it. I don't understand that.
It's already basically that sounds like a lot of filibustering and just kind of BSing to add words and fluff to it, which, yeah, that's kind of something like everybody does.
Ask for an extension. I gave them out every quarter. The issue is now she got rid of some of the revisions, so it's a bit of a pain in the. I revised the last one, but it's like if you use too many comma splices, she'll take away a letter grade, or like sentence fragments. She'll take away a letter grade. You have to use 5 of the sentence. It's just unbelievable.
Well, first of all, there is no excuse for writing a paper with sentence fragments in it.
Yeah,
complete thoughts only. That is that would definitely you'd get marked down for that in my English class too. But still, you wouldn't be getting a 0 for it.
Yeah.
Blake,
I want to see you rate my professor. I bet I'd give him a 5-star out of 10. Gotta make it to 2. Yeah, we always make it to 2 pages. All right. Thank you all for watching, though. Hour 31, fun show. Made up for the last week's 45-minute special. It was good, though, still. So go check it out. Thank you all for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe. Do dividend stocks, not drugs. And of course, remember, cash flow is king.